We are here today in Grannis, Arkansas with my dear friend, Jim Fain. Now, Jim didn't originate here. He is mainly from Lead Hill, Arkansas. And of course, you know we've done a lot of videos for Lead Hill, Arkansas. And we just want to kind of pick his brain today and see what he can share on the history and tell stories and incidents of Lead Hill. And I think we're going to really enjoy this. I've enjoyed meeting Jim Fain. And here we are in Grannis. Is it Grannis? Am I saying that right, Jim? Grannis, Arkansas. Right here, not downtown Grannis, right? Not downtown, but we're right here in Grannis, Arkansas. Well, Jim, were you born in Lead Hill?
Well, outside Lead Hill on the farm there.
I see.
1927.
1927.
1927.
Now, your dad, what was his name?
Richard Marvin.
Richard Marvin Fain.
Richard Marvin Fain.
Now, was he, were you superintendent of schools or was he superintendent of schools?
Both of us have been in time.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your family. Just look at the camera right there and tell me about your family.
Well, my dad, Richard Marvin Fain, he met and married Cora Evelyn Gaines. And they married in 1907. Way back there. He was born in 1885. She was born in 1887. But he lived to be 83 years old, and she lived to be about 85. He died in 1967, and she died in 1970. So they were both of them in their 80s when they passed away. And the Fain family migrated into that part of the country in 1870. They claimed a farm out there west of Lead Hill. About 9 kids, I think, in all, eight or nine kids. Well, I thought they came from Georgia straight to the Lead Hill area. But come to find out through research that some of the other family members knew, they came to Missouri first. They landed somewhere around Branson area up there, Forsyth. And they apparently visited my great-grandmother's sister lived in the Lead Hill side or the Arkansas side of land up there, downstate there a little ways. And the story is that the Missouri land was too rocky.
Yes.
They come to Arkansas.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I couldn't hardly believe it when I first heard it. But that's where the Fain settled out there west of Lead Hill. The great-grandmother's last name was, for her sister, when they married, their name was Seals. And so there used to be an old Seals schoolhouse out there west of Lead Hill.
Yes.
In that area. And it was sometime in the 1929, I guess, consolidated into the Lead Hill school system when it was formed.
Now, your brothers and sisters, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have 2 sisters. Well, I had 5 sisters. 3 of them died young, and 2 sisters that grew up and married there, and 3 more brothers. So there was 7 of us. My oldest was Helena. It's Helena, Helena, not Helen. And so I get mixed up, misspelled.
Yeah.
My next was John Paul. And next was Richard Ferris. Next was Lucy Bell. Next was William Thomas. And next, of course, was me, James Harris Fain.
So you're the baby of the family?
I'm the baby of the family.
The baby boy. What is an unusual character or unusual person or interesting person or whatever in Lead Hill that you remember? Who would that be?
In Lead Hill? Probably Bobby Tippett.
Was that a man or a woman?
It's a man. Well, he had some kind of health problem, but he was always walking up and down the street to go to town, and he always had always doing something interesting and telling. He mad at somebody or something. Always had a story to tell, I guess. Of some kind. Kids had gathered around where he was. His mother ran a Tess Tippett. She ran you may have heard that name.
She ran a cafe.
A cafe there, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a picture of that Tess Tippett.
Well, okay, right next door was our drugstore. Lloyd Pumper had a drugstore. And Lloyd Pumper, he was a fine person. He and his mother, they raised one son. He had the drugstore there though, and he built the first rock house in town.
The Pumphrey House right there in Lead Hill. They pulled it all the way up the
yeah,
hill.
well, that's the old. They pulled that house up there, the cables and trucks, and I heard it like got away from them one time.
Yes.
But need somebody else to tell that story, yeah. But Lloyd was a fine person. He was mayor. When he was mayor, I took some papers. He was I guess a notary public, something too. I just took some papers I had to get signed there one time after I became superintendent. And he was showing me, there in the living room, he had a little organ, an old one. It wasn't much over that wide. I'm thinking about that high. That's so wide. I'd never seen one thing like it before. But Lloyd said that organ had been brought to that country, was owned by Johnny Carter's dad. Now, people that, if they know anything about what I'm talking about, the way of people, Johnny Carter was a representative in the state legislature from Lead Hill area.
Church of Christ preacher.
In Church of Christ, fine one.
I just interviewed yesterday Anna Marie.
Well, good.
Well, tell me something about the Jaybird Schoolhouse. Now, did you go to school in at Jaybird Schoolhouse?
No, but my dad taught there and my sister taught there. Oldest sister taught there.
How many students did they have there?
I have a picture. I expect there was about 25, maybe. When Helena taught there might have been 25 or 30. I believe they called it Prairie View or some such name, but grew up, we knew it by the name of Jaybird.
Yeah. Well, do you know how Jaybird Schoolhouse was started? I mean, who initiated that or who started it?
No, I don't, but it was probably people by the name of Slagley. So there were several Slagley families up in that neck of the woods.
Well, the graves out in the cemetery there by Jaybird are Slagleys.
I would say there's more of them than it probably was started by some of that family.
Right, right.
Yeah. Some of my classmates, first one I think of is Charlie Adam. He'd be your first cousin.
That's right.
And Charlie was a good athlete. Wallace Raley was, I guess, my best buddy by the time we graduated.
Now, Wallace, is that the one that you kidded my sister Polly about?
I guess so. We used to aggravate her.
Yeah, about Polly and Wally.
Polly and Wally.
Yeah, Polly and Wally.
Yeah, Polly and Wally. I'd forgotten about the Wally part.